to extract as much as the alcohol is going to extract. That's better for things like your fire cider. So
this is Slippery Elm. We are purchasing here from Wild Roots. She's here doing a class for us, teaching us how to make our own tinctures and different herbs that she suggests that we could have in our homes to start our own apothecary. Can you tell us your name?
yes, my name is Tincture.
And where are we at?
We're at Wild Roots. This is apothecary and coffee shop.
Check out this cute coffee shop. And she has a menu. She has coffees, teas, elixirs, and some lovely foods. Definitely tried the grilled cheese. It was the best.
The Cuban was good too.
Oh, was it good?
Thank you. Thank you.
How long have you been here?
We have been at this location for 6 years,
Okay.
and our business has been open for 10.
Wow.
Yeah, and I got started with I started working with herbs from a pretty young age, just kind of self-taught, and then I had a little bit more formal education. But I actually met an herbalist early on when we started Wild Root, and she really inspired me to learn more, and I actually bought some of her herbal stock, and that's how I got started with the apothecary.
So do you frequently offer classes, or is this something new that you are trying, or what?
I have offered a lot of classes. I've actually taught a lot of classes in the past, and I kind of got away from it because of things just going on, other things in life.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping to get them started again.
So how can people contact you if they're interested in purchasing any of this or a class? Where could they find you?
So you can find me at several different places. So we're on Instagram at Wild Root Life.
Okay.
I also have a YouTube channel under my name, Chandra Hartman, and Wild Root Life.
Okay.
And yeah.
Facebook or?
Yeah, we're on Facebook too.
Yeah.
Not much on Facebook.
Okay.
I respond more to Instagram, so.
Perfect. So if anybody's interested in getting started with herbs, tinctures, salves, getting their own apothecary, y'all please reach out to her. And if you want to take a class, I highly, highly recommend it.
Thank you. Hey, how's everybody doing?
We're doing good. How are you? Oh.
Y'all are plant people, right? Are y'all plant people?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm a wanted woman.
I have been in the house, but I'm not. We're doing that now. I do the garden.
Homesteader in general.
Yeah.
So there's still people, garden people.
Does everybody know what these are?
Is it feverfew?
You'll never look at these the same way again.
Definitely not personally.
Right? Okay, yeah, those are weeds. I can't get rid of them.
Are those the ones that stick to you?
Yes.
Yeah.
These are cleavers.
Yeah.
Yes, that makes sense. Cleavers.
Cleavers.
I have it everywhere.
Yes, I do too.
Touch it, more will grow.
Yeah, they don't need water or
It's like
anything.
stinging nettles. I love
I guess
stinging
so. They
nettle
could be
tea, but
There we go.
a lot of people don't like stinging nettles, so they yank them out of their plants. And it's like,
Thanks.
they're so good for you.
Right.
Have stinging nettles.
It's springtime here in Florida, even though it's not spring yet, we know. So this is one of our best plants that comes up in the springtime. If you want to do like a little liver cleanse or just flush. No, not at all. I just pick
like
them out of the yard.
dandelions.
The dogs may have peed on them, so I wouldn't use these.
And the dairy flavor.
Hey, vodka and kill it, it'll be all right.
That's right. I knew there was a reason why I passed them on.
She's smart. So yeah, these are actually a really great lymphatic. So if you need to drain lymph anywhere in the body, or you have like lumps that are lymphatic in nature, you could make a bolus and put this on it. This is also good for wound healing. You could make what's called a succus, which is basically you just juice the plant, and then you can either freeze it or put alcohol in it, and that'll help preserve it. This is best used fresh. So we only have it for a month or two, and then it's gone. So if you do want to use it as a plant medicine, you want to gather it up, juice it, freeze it, do something like that.
Use it later on.
Then you can use it, that's right. So
But you can
if you
do
buy
it-
it dry,
You
it's
can
just
do it
not
internally.
Right.
So, and
So
you're
you
saying
can
it's
see
a
it.
detox, just like if you did dandelion root.
You know, it has a different action. It's more lymphatic, but it's great. You know, just to get the system moving for long winter time and eating fatty foods and stuff. So it's really good to just jumpstart your
Because
system.
we don't have fiddleheads in here.
And I kind of followed that up with a more intense, like Chinese herbal studies.
It's really intense.
So yeah, that's my background. But I just started playing with plants. I just love plants. So probably like all you guys do.
Certain plants.
Yeah.
Not dog pee plants.
No. I prefer to water my plants with water.
It's true. If you start looking around, it's like,
learn about-
oh yeah.
You learn about stuff like plantain and, lamb's ear. You get out there and you have a cut and it's like, okay, just put that there.
Right? It becomes harder to like weed and cut things when you
it's like,
start
I don't wanna
breaking
get
I
rid of
pull
that.
over on the side of the road to identify things.
well with a little bit of alcohol. It's not really a it's like a preserved decoction, which we're going to talk about.
So on the way down, we were talking about the salve for the bug bites. Do you
Yes,
still have that?
I do.
Because Randall's a beekeeper too. It works great.
Are those bug bites that you get? I thought they were stings.
They are.
Yeah.
And that was
Yeah.
really something.
I have 3 different salves that I make down here.
Can they?
So I have a muscle and bruise. I have a skin salve that's for anything like some of the local people that have work with tattoos and stuff. They swear by it, like it stops the stabbing. All right, so we're gonna do what's called a folk method. So basically, tinctures are made either folk method or weight to volume method. And folk method is just super easy. One's not better than the other. The only difference is that the weight to volume is a way of making the tinctures using exact measurements if you're like in my business for medicine making, if you're going to be dosing somebody and you want to get like a pretty accurate dose of what you're doing. So, but there's nothing wrong with what we're going to do today, and it's every bit as good and effective. So. And it is so easy. So basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our mason jar. I'm gonna wait for you. You're right. All right. So we're gonna take our mason jar and we're gonna be using a dry herb. So we're gonna fill the mason jar halfway with dry herb, and then we're gonna fill it the rest of the way with our alcohol of choice, vodka that you can buy. So this is like $10. This is 80 proof. You wanna use minimum 80 proof. I like to use 100 if you can get it, but 80 is fine, there's nothing wrong with that. And then most of your other alcohol, like you can use any alcohol that you want. That vodka is just, it just doesn't have the flavor, so, yeah.
Right.
But I like to use brandy for like my bitters, or if you're making like kids formulas, then maybe you want to mix some honey.
What is a bitter?
So bitters are usually like bitter herbs that are used for like stomach and stuff. Yeah, like gentian.
So they're not bitter.
Yes.
They
The
are
herbs
bitter.
are
bitter.
bitter. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll pull the gentian
It's
off.
kind of like the old days, where they used to do the bitters before
For
a
a meal. Yep.
because it helps with digestion.
Yep.
And if you do it and then you eat a heavy meal, you don't feel like you're going to explode later.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
helps me.
Have to try that just before
So if you've
Thanksgiving,
ever
right?
had like Angostura bitters, that's a very famous bitters. So Angostura bitters, they put that in like old fashioned.
Yeah, I think nowadays most people assume bitters are just for alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got a table full of alcohol.
It does work nice, yes.
So that's gentian. So that's the main ingredient in Angostura bitters. And also in,
Reminds me of tobacco.
Back in the good old days, right?
what's the one that tastes like cough syrup, but I like it?
Oh, yes. No.
Jägermeister.
Oh, you were talking about the alcoholist. I was like, I wouldn't know that one.
Phyllis, I'm seeing a whole nother side of you tonight.
Jägermeister.
I was just thinking
That's even
licorice.
strong.
And all the alcohol is made with gluten, so you know if you're sensitive, obviously you can get like Tito's or something like that instead. But I actually order my alcohol from a company and I put it on the back of the sheet. It's from Organic Alcohol and they sell it by the gallon or 5-gallon drums, and it's 100% organic and it's 190 proof. So it's as close as you can get to pure alcohol. Your own moonshine.
Wow.
And they have.
Jimmy knows how to do that. We should talk to him.
How much is it?
It is not cheap because you have to pay like, let's see, I think a gallon's about 150, and then you have to pay like a $75 federal tax.
Oh
my gosh.
That's why.
Are all the way full because it's not going to expand like dry herbs. So you can fill the jar and then just fill it with your alcohol. So, okay.
Now, do you fill it and pack it down?
I pack it a little bit.
Yeah.
Pack it lightly.
Pack it down a little bit because it's like with oregano, it's stronger when it's dry than when it's fresh.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. And then when you're, so the other reason you want to use a higher alcohol percentage because of the moisture that's in the fresh plant material is going to be adding to that liquid. Yep. So. And then just briefly, if anybody wants to get into the weight to volume, it's not very hard at all. Your typical tinctures that you buy, like if you buy them from the health food store, you buy them here, I usually do, I'll put on there what the ratio is. So depending on what the herb is, it's usually going to be a 1 to 4, a 1 to 5, a 1 to 10. And that's a weight to volume, and you calculate that in grams and milliliters. So it's going to be like 1 gram of dry herb to 5 milliliters of liquid. So, you know, it just involves a little bit of math, but if you want to get into it more, I'm not going to cover that here, but that kind of did a little explanation a long time, so that the volume of the liquid basically reduces to half. And then you would measure that and you want to preserve it with alcohol, with like 1/3 alcohol. So that's another way to make like a low alcohol tincture. And some of your herbs have to be made that way. Like I don't have one, I'm all sold out I think, but I have a tincture that I make that's kind of like a wellness tincture with astragalus. And astragalus does not extract well in alcohol. It's better if you boil it. So I make a preserved decoction with that. So I make the tea, I have all the herbs, I boil them down, and then I measure that, and then I add 1/3 alcohol to that mixture. And that'll keep it probably won't keep as long as the ones that are half and half. But they keep for a long extract as much as the alcohol is going to extract. That's better for things like your fire cider, so like your not medicinal, more things that you think of like culinary or digestive type herbs. So you could throw your herbs into a jar, cover them with vinegar. Again, they're not going to last as long. I would probably refrigerate that. I mean, you could leave it out on the shelf, but it's just not going to last as long at all. And lastly, there is a product called vegetable glycerin that you can use, and you'll find a lot of tinctures at health food stores. They use this to make their tinctures, So if you wanted to use a vegetable glycerin and you couldn't do any alcohol, would you mind just telling them we're closed? Sorry.
It's locked.
Oh.
They turned around, so.
They figured it out.
I'm not really a fan of the vegetable glycerin, but I understand why people use it, you know, and I get it. If you've got kids or someone who absolutely cannot even have a drop of alcohol, you could use something like this. This is very sweet. And thick, yes. So you would mix this 75% vegetable glycerin and 25% water. And then you would,
water.
you don't even have to boil it, you just do the same thing. Yeah, I do use it right back
Yeah,
on
see,
with
like, I don't think I've ever seen that in my life.
She said halfway, right?
I love
So this is red raspberry.
See, I can't retain all this. Like, I could read it a million
Does that look
times.
about
And
halfway?
even do it, I have to do it over and over and over.
That's the way it's
Because they don't.
I'm great at learning.
And
I read this page, time I get over here, I read this page,
go back
time
to
I
it.
get down this page, I forgot what this paragraph was, you know.
many drops?
Yeah, so I could tell you what's good, but I can't tell you why,
You know?
because I don't remember. I just know this is how I do
I
it
went on
because
that
it's
walk
good.
with Bill,
Because it was fun and I really loved it.
Have you done one of those yet, the foraging walks?
No, my daughter went, and it was funny because she ended up not finishing it because she was going with one of her friends.
Why did you choose the brandy as opposed to the?
And
Because I don't like vodka and I like brandy.
could have made that bigger. My daughter's 10.
Much.
And she goes, no, those are Japanese beetle because they're not as red as ladybugs.
Yeah.
And so the dad was like, it's and then so they went through
Even
and
if
caught
that's
her up, but she had missed most of what Billy had said.
They just tell them,
And when she was picking things, and he was like, he texted my husband.
Oh, you already used it? Yeah, I had one here. All right,
Well, we
thank you.
didn't, pass it down.
And you guys, don't forget about your spices. I mean, gosh, just your common spices you can do so much with. A lot of our spices are what are called carminatives, so they're natural digestives. You use them that way. Okay, let's see. Bone set. Whoops. Instead of, well, you could have echinacea too, but bone set is my other favorite flu and cold herb. It's often overlooked, but this one's really good just to have. Starting to get a flu and a cold, you could just do bone set by itself, or you could mix some elderberries with it. That would be excellent. Something for pain, your California poppy, I would definitely have something like that. That would be a go-to. If you've got backache or something like that, just take some of that. It's going to help you.
So is that better than the
Wild lettuce is
for pain relief? Like, which one would you do? The wild.
Okay.
We have the wild lettuce growing, and I've dehydrated it and used it for tea.
Let me tell you something real quick about wild lettuce. You've got to like do this whole decoction process until it turns into like a tar. And then
For it to
is-
really be good.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it's really good. It's really good, but it takes a long time. Chickweed. Chickweed is great too. So you can make salves out of that. You can make a poultice. So that's really good for any kind of wound healing. Let's see. What else? Yeah, chickweeds. Dandelion. Obviously, that's going to be a good one for your liver detoxing, and it's just an all-around great herb.
So all these herbs, you go out in the yard and you pick and then you just dry them in your dehydrator?
You can, yeah, absolutely. Okay, elderberry.
Wow.
I got one if you ever want to bring ours over.
I have one, yeah.
Fennel.
But thank
Fennel
you.
is a great digestive. You know, just make a tincture of fennel. That is awesome. Just
Really?
You got a little stomach upset? That's great.
Tastes like licorice.
Yes, I love it.
For headaches.
Oh.
Absolutely a must.
What is it?
Feverfew.
Really?
Or feverfew and meadowsweet together would be excellent.
Oh,
I
okay.
grew it once, it's a daisy.
Let's see.
Maybe I should have made that so the day of the event I have it.
Gotu-kola. Excellent for wound healing.
Wait,
too.
what?
Gotu-kola. Gotukola. So you can make like a wash, like a mouthwash, really good for your gums and everything.
Really?
That was for wound. What was it?
Go to cola. Hawthorn, you gotta have some hawthorn in there.
What is that for?
It's a great heart herb. So it's really good if you have any kind of heart problems. It's just really, it's a blood mover though, so be careful if you're on blood thinners or heart medication, because it really works. Let's see, what else? Kava kava, you guys like kava kava?
Never heard of it.
Yeah, you know, that's not a must-have, but
Oh, okay.
that's always a good one to have if you need to relax.
Oh.
It's a nervine, it really like chill you out. Okay,
is it?
lemon balm will also do that too. And I would recommend lemon.
Lemon balm and sage as a tea.
Lobelia, if you have asthma or chronic hiccups, antispasmodic. Yes, yes, lobelia. It also helps with if you're trying to quit smoking.
What about quit coffee?
Oh, I tell you.
Nothing works.
Mullein, absolutely mullein. I would have that. I do have stinging nettles here too.
I went out in the pasture and dug them all up
Orange peel.
and threw them away.
Orange peel, definitely. This is one of my favorites. This is also great for resolving phlegm. So that's phlegm in the lungs and phlegm in the stomach. So if you have stomach issues, eat some orange peel or something, but dry your orange peel, your organic orange peels. It's excellent medicine. Really good. Let's see, passion flower, good for sleep. Peppermint, obviously, we have that one.
Let that in your yard be prepared to beat it to death because it grows everywhere.
Let's see, what else? Skullcap's one of my favorites.
What is that?
Skullcap, it's like a beta blocker, but it's good for relaxing, anxiety. It's also good for sleep. If you're really hyperactive, it just calms you down, but if you're pretty calm like I am, it'll put you to sleep. Self-heal is one of my favorites too. I put this in my salve. So self-heal is another really good one for wound healing.
I need to get some of that. Don't let me leave it.
Let's see, slippery elm. This is a must-have. You should always have slippery elm. I use this all the time for digestive stuff. So this is excellent. You take the powdered slippery elm and mix it with honey. And you can keep that in the fridge. And if you're feeling like you're going to have diarrhea, constipation, upset stomach, anything like that, just take a little scoop and you'll feel better. Like
What
almost
about
here.
nausea? Like, would it help with that?
Nausea, yeah. This is good for people who are going through like chemo and they haven't been able to eat too. This is very nourishing.
My dad used to go out and get the bark and make a paste to put on pink eye.
Nice.
No.
Nice. I don't have it, but golden seal is also good for pink eye. So any of your yellow rooted herbs, like your Chinese yellow herbs. What else? St. John's wort, that's a good nervine. Like you can make an oil from that for nerve pain. Uva ursi, UTIs. That's what you want, uva ursi.
I have a bladder condition.
Okay, I don't know. I mean, you know, they're all good, but that's a good starter.
Wonderful. Yes.
All right. Does anybody else have any questions? I finally just decided I'm going to do it under my name.
So here is her QR code to her YouTube channel.